Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode. It's mostly going to be me talking because Hannah has almost no voice. We are also going to be unedited unless something crazy happens and like our
Like our
dogs don't
dog in the
stop.
background.
Uh, but anyway, I'm going to talk about Lake Lanier in Georgia. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Me either until I started doing my research.
How'd you find it?
I was looking up creepy places that people say are haunted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I
I don't
found
know
that.
if anyone can hear me talking. I can't even laugh.
That's why you don't laugh at my jokes.
Yeah, I'm
Because
always
you
sick.
can't.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
So, Lake Lanier is in Gainesville, Georgia. It's considered one of the deadliest lakes in America. How many deaths do you think there have been there?
500.
There have been 700 deaths
Wow.
since 1956.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of deaths.
It is.
So, this huge number of deaths, along with some ghostly sightings, has led many to believe that the lake is haunted.
Ooh.
I was looking at Wayne. I'm trying to make you talk because
Don't make me have reactions. I don't know if people can hear them.
I like hearing your voice. All right. In 1956, the United States Army Corps of Engineers was given the job of creating a lake to provide water and power to parts of Georgia and to help prevent the Chattahoochee River from flooding. What a southern name. I like it.
It is.
Chattahoochee. Okay, they chose to construct the lake near Oscarville in Forsyth County. It was named after the poet and soldier Sidney Lanier. Lake Lanier has 692 miles of shoreline, making it the largest in Georgia.
Well,
Yeah. So
fun
that is
facts.
yeah, that is much larger than Oscarville, which was occupied at the time when they decided to make this. So of course you have to like dam a river and do all these other things with levees to
Obviously.
make it. So Oscarville, there were 250 families that were displaced, and around 50,000 acres of farmland was destroyed. 20 cemeteries were either relocated or just covered in water.
What?
Yeah, they had 20 cemeteries.
That's so wrong.
Yeah, over the 5 year construction period. So they said most of the bodies they were able to dig up, but a lot of the unmarked ones and the cemeteries that were kind of unused, like there were bodies there, but they were unused, as in like they weren't upkept anymore. So those bodies were still there and presumably are still there today in the water. So the town of Oscarville was not demolished before the lake was filled, and people can still like if you go scuba diving, you're like, hey, look at this underwater town.
Really?
Yeah, it said it includes like they had a racetrack, like a stadium with seats, and so when the water gets low, you can see the tops of the seats sticking up on the
That's
top
cool.
of the stadium. So there's like it's a whole town down there. It says divers have reportedly found intact streets, walls, houses, and they're saying it's one of the most dangerous underwater surfaces in the United States, which makes sense if you're boating or something.
Well, yeah, you can hit something, or if you're swimming, you can get trapped on something.
Hmm. And then you got weeds growing up on it, making it even more likely to catch you. Yeah. So the flood structures, along with declining water levels, are partly responsible for the high number of deaths that occur yearly at Lake Lanier. So there's many instances of people drowning. There's also reports of boats randomly going up in flames, freak accidents, and people just going missing.
Well,
Some believe that the region's dark past is responsible for these incidents because there's some. Um, there was a woman that was assaulted and killed, and I forgot what year it was. I don't know if it was like 1912 or something. I forgot the year, but it was there was a lot of racism stuff back then, and there was lynchings and stuff in the area, and some people were wrongfully accused in her murder. So they think that dark history plays into it too. All right, so here we get into the actual hauntings. So one of the most popular legends surrounding the lake is called Lady of the Lake. And the story goes like this. In 1958, two young girls named Delia Mae Parker Young and Susie Roberts, who only got 2 names compared to Delia Mae Parker Young. They were at a dance in town, and they left early. Why that matters, I don't know, but they decided to leave early. They're driving.
If they wouldn't have left early,
I guess,
they'd probably be fine.
Who knows, though?
No one will ever know.
They were driving across a bridge over Lake Lanier when they lost control of the car, spiraling off the ledge and crashing into the dark waters below. And then they couldn't find the bodies. But a year later, a fisherman out in the lake came across a decomposed, unrecognized body floating near the bridge. At the time, no one could identify who it was because there was already bodies down there. It's like, oh, another body.
Yeah, and it's back in the day where it was even harder to identify bodies.
Mm-hmm. It said it wasn't until 1990 when they discovered a 1950s Ford sedan at the bottom of the lake with the remains of Susie Roberts that they were able to identify the body found 3 decades earlier as Delia Mae Parker Young's.
Wow.
The legend goes, locals already knew who she was, though. They had reportedly seen her, still in her blue dress, wandering near the bridge at night with handless arms, and sometimes they see her without eyes in her face, too.
That's creepy.
And they claim she wants to drag unsuspecting lake goers to the bottom. But I think she's nice. I don't know if she's actually nice, but I don't know. I picture
like to think so.
Yeah. I always picture ghosts as nice. So other people have reported seeing a shadowy figure sitting on a raft, inching himself across the water with a long pole and holding up a lantern to see. And that's all. And anything I see on this guy, that's all they have.
No.
They don't know who he is or anything. He's just trying to cross the lake, apparently, with a raft. So besides these ghost stories, there are some little more recent. They claim the lake is haunted by the spirits of 27 victims who have died since 1950 something, that they never found the bodies. So they're just missing people and bodies in the water. So they think it's haunted by those 27 people.
Well, and yeah, if you think about it, with the town down there, when these people, if they drown or whatever, if they sink, I don't know if they sink first. I don't know how that all works when you drown. But there's so many things you can get trapped under that people are never going to find your body.
Like a town?
Yeah.
It's a huge lake, too.
Yeah.
It's not like the Great
Lakes.
Lakes.
But there's all these random things out there that you could be trapped under.
Mm-hmm. Like sea monsters.
Yep.
Or lake monsters.
Yep.
Also, it said there's giant catfish down there, and there's which on some awesome episodes of River Monsters, they find catfish that could grow large enough to eat someone, and they found catfish washed up on shore they found one with someone sticking out of its mouth, it couldn't swallow them, but it engulfed them, and
wow.
Yeah. Oh, they also said that we have our cat, of course, joining us. They also said that, I'm trying to pronounce or remember how you pronounce it, staphylococcus, is that how you say it? It's staph infection.
Oh.
They said that this, I don't remember if it's a virus or bacteria. I think it's bacteria that causes this. It lies in the the soil at the bottom of the lake too. So just everything about this lake wants to kill you.
No kidding. Doesn't sound fun.
No. But a lot of people visit. It said something like 10 million visitors a year, which makes that's why a lot of people die too.
I would visit, but I don't think I'd get in the water.
I'll just drink it, trying to get staph. Which I did have a staph infection in high school. It's if you don't treat it, you can literally die from it or lose limbs.
That sounds fantastic.
But if you take care right away, it's just you put an ointment on. Yeah. All right. Or take something for it too. All right. So it goes on to say, with 700 people dying in less than 70 years, something must be wrong. The Army Corps of Engineers initially believed that the submerged town of Oscarville wouldn't cause any harm, but the lake also wasn't constructed to be recreational. It was meant to supply water to the towns and for the dams, or the power for them.
Yeah.
Not for people to be boating and stuff.
Well, you just made a huge ass lake. Why wouldn't you go boating?
In a place that's hot, too.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you go boating on it? Might as well.
So many of the deaths can be attributed to things as simple as not wearing a life jacket, drinking alcohol while out in the lake, accidents, and incorrectly assuming that shallow water is safe. But who knows how many can be attributed to its ghostly inhabitants, too.
Well, yeah, it's also built on several cemeteries.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of, like, I don't know if your remains would care, like, but if you're, like, let's say for some reason your spirit's staying with your remains for some reason, like unfinished business or something, I think it'd probably be like, hey, like, how am I going to hunt people if I'm now covered in water?
Yeah.
Or you're still going to stay in that spot, but be now on the water.
Hopefully ghosts can't, like, experience drowning.
Probably not.
I don't think so. That seems dumb to say out loud now, but you never know.
Yeah. So that's Lake Lanier. It sounds like it would be a cool place. Like,
I'd like
the pictures
to see
may
it.
look pretty.
I wouldn't go there just to see that. So, like, if we're driving through.
We also live on a lake, so I'm not going to travel just to see a lake either.
Well,
except for the Great Lakes.
I would go to Lake. I want to go see Lake Tahoe. We've talked about that before, actually.
What'd you say?
Lake Tahoe.
I just want you to keep talking because your voice.
I'm done. I realized when I said it earlier, I'm like, we'll never know. I'm like, I have the perfect voice to tell a ghost story.
You kind of have the perfect voice to be in those anti-smoking commercials.
I smoke 12 packs a day.
That'd be a lot. It'd be.
I don't know why.
Incredibly expensive too.
Anytime in my family, like, if you smoke, it's fine. I'm fine with people who smoke. But sorry, our heat just kicked in. But we're at the end, so I'm just gonna let it roll. But like anytime we'd get a voice like this, I don't know why we always say 12 though.
That'd be a lot. Like a pack a day is a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you, Alan, for that wonderful story.
You're welcome. You're welcome for letting you rest your voice today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you to or I'll say thank you to you for our listeners for not having to listen to your raspy voice because it makes me want to cough.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And just so everyone knows, coughing does not help. I've tried.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for listening. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Send us stories because we love sharing other people's stories. We're hoping to have a guest on soon within the next couple of weeks. Telling us about living in a haunted location for, I think they said 8 years. And their words were severely haunted. So I'm looking forward to hearing their stories.
All right. We'll talk to y'all next week.